Secret friends, unite!
Welcome to the Secret Friends Unite, episode 537. This is your guide to the geeks side, and I am one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra. And as of right now, as it stands, we are now in August, so get ready. Apparently, it's Dogust is what they're calling it because it's the month of dogs. So there you go. You've been updated, and now you know. Joined by Charlie Carden.
I don't get it. How do dogs influence month of August? What was that? What's the second line in that paragraph? There isn't one.
Every day has a national day, but somebody said Dogust.
Is that like Movember? This year I'll be prepared. Never had that before.
Cat-timber.
Oh, guys, like Catterday. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to do some more research. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? As we roll out the weekend. But yeah, we're in August, and we have a great show for you. As always, talking about geek stuff, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the Fantastic Four and talk about Galactus and Marvel and things to come. But first and foremost, the wonderful people on our Secret Friends Unite Patreon squad, the folks that get exclusive programs, early shows, no ads, and Discord benefits for 7 days for free. Half off your first month, and as little as $2 a month to stay on board. Love to have you like these fine folks. My buddy Derek Trevelyan, the figure dude. Francie, my wife's hairdresser. Luke Lore, Mr. Xbox Expansion Pass, and my Uncle Tim down there in South Haven, Michigan. Also John Sedorf, Brendan Myers, Corey HD, Matthew Keel, Kurt Krug, my buddy who is my unofficial agent, helping me out get all these great interviews over on Spotlight. Tanya Lee, Chipotle Bear, Famous Seamus, Cam the Movie Man, Jay Newport 007, Prozac Man, a.k.a. Darth Prozac, and not going to say his name, Todd's going to do it.
Freight Conductor.
There we go. Not the 2 letters and the numeral. I just put it in brackets. I don't want to get it wrong. But anyway, we're very happy to have all of you folks with us. A lot of great extra programming, a lot of great interviews coming up. And we would love to have you in there again. Patreon.com/Secret Friends Unite. Try us out. I think you're going to want to stick around. Just like the duality of Action Comics to what episode are we on now? 437? I'm squinting now. 337.
This is 337. Action Comics. Okay. This is an interesting one. 12 cents. Cover is Action Comics says, why does Superman fight crime as a millionaire and as a hobo? Read the bombshell answer in From Riches to Rags. He's got in one picture, we've got a picture of him with a top hat and a Kingpin cane that Kingpin must have stole. He punches a guy, but he's also got a driver with the Superman car. And then the next picture over, it says Private Superman Shack. He's a hobo. He's got holes in his socks. He's got
Private Shack.
He's got cans, and he's living like a hobo, and he's sitting on a box of soap.
Right. Where did he get the sock? Well, it's interesting to note that Superman wears socks underneath his booties. I mean, I know the Superman suit that I have has the worst boots that I think the soles were like press board. So I hope he's got some good supportive socks. So as usual, I guess the cover date 12 cents is going to put us 1964.
66, and it actually says you can tell because they call this checkerboard at the top, they called it the go-go checks, which is weird. It was a part of their logo, which was kind of a weird look. And back then it was still DC Superman National Comics. And I mean, at this point, Charlie, looking at this comic, it's very odd.
I look at covers like this and I'm like, all right, what's the plot? And can you really quantify like what the plot is? Is there a plot, or is this just little Billy and, the swinging 60s in the Revco drugstore there in Lapeer, just snagging this off that spinner rack and going, hey, these pages are blank. There's nothing inside. Do
you want to know the plot?
I mean, do you want me to take a swing at it? So, I mean,
sure.
I figured it's a sting, right? It's a sting. So he is, first of all, I don't know who the guy is who he's punching out. He kind of looks fancy, like the Riddler without a mask. So maybe that's Frank Gorshin. And the guy is shooting him at the same time. Don't know why Superman needs to drive around his car. I think the whole thing is, it's a sting. It's a sting. Metropolis PD needs him to get in both with the mob and then with the hobo mob, I guess, if there is such a thing. And he's doing all this to work a case, which I never really think of Superman as working cases. But, hey, yeah, 'cause you never really see him cooperate with the police. He just kind of does his own thing and blows up buildings like in the Superman movie. He's just tearing down buildings, and there's no accountability with it. He's like, thanks, Superman. You split Metropolis in half and you tried to put it back together. It's like Bart Simpson with the cake. At least you tried.
Apparently, when Halley's Comet came, it happened while the Kents were reading a poem to Clark. Basically, it was the poem that about basically rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, Indian chief, lawyer, and essentially it caused him to enact these roles. I don't know. That's exactly what happened. I still don't understand it at all. He goes, I see it now. Somehow that comet affected me post-hypnotically as a child when it appeared. It influenced me subconsciously to act out the various roles in that rhyme.
Is this written by anybody who is in any regard to the comic writing community, maybe a star of the time? Do you see any credits?
That's a good point. I'm looking at I'm trying to find the credits, and they're probably buried at the end, because when I look at the top line, I don't see it. So this was like just a short story. It was literally like 4 pages long. Then there was a Supergirl story involved. Then there was like so many ads. Holy cow. There was a Metropolis mailbag, so you could write in if you wanted to.
The Action Comics.
But I don't even see any credits. No, I don't see any credits in this. So that's weird.
So really, nobody actually wrote it in a 4-page story.
They asked their names to be removed.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't you? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got some information here. I have the dark web open on my other screen. Who wrote this comic? Our senior news correspondent, Madam Webb. This is because I think this is autobiographical. This is really how she came up, because she was riches at the time, and now she's rags down at the corner of Hollywood and Vine with the latest news and scoops. With us as always. Let's do it.
Now it's time for Madam Webb's Rumors and News. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Madam Webb. It's kind of crazy, Madam Webb. It's beginning to be football season. Preseason is going on right now. And I've heard something really sad, that I believe the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders do not get paid to do their job. So I know you were thinking about a comeback into the world of cheerleading, Madam Webb, but sorry, you won't get paid. So I know you're going to have to look for a different scam.
Ouch. That's okay. There's plenty of scams out there. Well, we were talking a bit in the pre-roll, and I'm excited. I think summer 2026, summer of Spider-Man, which means, Todd, that means you and I are going to have to spend the ramp up watching that old Nicholas Hammond TV show. We're going to have to watch all the bad Spider-Man cartoons, but or maybe not. But yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be with us for the summer, and the Avengers Doomsday having cleared out to the holiday season next year. But we got our first taste, and it wasn't even a taste. It was like one seed. Maybe got like not even a popcorn kernel. The first one of which, these seemed to drop when I was at the movies on Friday night, but there was a 9-second clip of an extreme close-up of just images of Spidey's suit moving from one side to another. And then I saw it on Saturday. I don't know, maybe they both dropped at the same time and the algorithm just didn't deliver them to me. But the next clip was shrouded in darkness. It looked like you're in an airplane hangar and the door cracks a little bit, so it's showing some light. Somebody has their back to the camera in the far background. They flip around, they're walking into the light. And it's our beloved Tom Holland without the mask, showing us the Spidey suit, and I believe he says, "Hey, are you ready to go?" in his Peter Parker accent. So, what do you think? You're a Spider fan. You've enjoyed the films, obviously. Tom Holland has been the Peter Parker that I've enjoyed probably the most. All 4 films the 3 films have all been good. The other 2 spider films in the modern era can't really make that claim of having a clean sweep. So this is summer Spider-Man stuff for me. I'm really fired up.
So this is going to have a new director. The director is Dustin Crichton, who did Shang-Chi, and that is going to be the first was it blanking on his name?
John Watts? John Watts? The director?
Yes. So he's no longer involved. So, and then this film was originally supposed to happen in December of next year, and it basically flip-flopped with the Avengers film. So this moved up like 6 months. So that's worries me a little bit about this. Filming only began in August 2025, which is like 2 days ago.
Now,
because we're in August 1st.
Yeah.
Yes. He was hired to write. Right. He was hired to direct the movie in October 24, and the title is now Summer 25. So this. And they're basically filming location in Glasgow right now.
Glasgow.
So the thing that does worry about this is like less time. They're filming it now. They've got to do a lot of obviously special effects. You hear other films that they get at least a year post production often. This is going to probably get like 4 months of post-production. So I worry this will have rushed special effects, which is not good. You've seen good Marvel films with good special effects. Bad. The more time they get to have with the special effects groups, the better it looks. Any rewrites are going to be rushed. I worry about this film, especially since it's already had to pivot before the Avengers movie, which means what did they have to change in the script? What did they have to do to make it fit?
That's what I've been trying to figure out, because obviously anything set up in that fashion would be a response to the events of Doomsday, which would be the film we see at Christmas time. So the big fear is that this could be the first duffer for them, because it's been a weird summer for Marvel this year, because Thunderbolts was a flop. Fantastic Four came out strong, but fell in its second week, fell dramatically. And so while DC is soaring, not that necessarily a comparison of that is 100% necessary, but it's natural. But it's a fourth film. This is what I'm trying to know. Captain America has had 4 films. That fourth film was terrible.
Thor,
we know. Yeah. And this is the 4th film for Spider-Man. Is the fourth swing. The 4th film for Thor was not great. Did they have a 4-film curse? What do you think? Could that be the MCU curse?
At least we've got a different status quo with the Spider-Man, it seems like. So maybe that will help it rather than just do more of the same. Although we saw with Thor getting its different status quo didn't work the second time. So maybe this will be okay, depending on how long this goes. Tom Holland is getting older now. So I don't know. This might be his last Spidey film, but he may be in the other movies going forward. But, along with that, though, we do find out that Mark Ruffalo is returning as the Hulk for Spider-Man 4. Which kind of a weird one. Is he going to be like a mentor to Tom Holland, where Iron Man isn't anymore? Can't be.
Right.
Will something in his Hulk biology means he remembered? I don't remember even Hulk and Spider-Man having much on-screen time together. Any interactions? Really?
Oh, you're talking about in the films? I don't believe there were any. And certainly in the comics, it was, especially in the 70s and 80s, it was a little bit here, a little bit there, Marvel team up, Joe Fix-It, when the Hulk, when he was Grey Hulk and he was living in Vegas, Spider-Man had a stint of a thing that happened there. So he would show up from time to time, but there was, and then there was the I think the most famous interaction with him early on is when Spidey went to the Avengers, and this was like in an Amazing Spider-Man annual in the 60s, and he's like, I want to join, blah, blah, blah. And they said, all right, well, your test is capture the Hulk and bring him here. And this is when Spidey went after him. He managed to wear him down and turn back into Bruce Banner. He says, I can't take this guy in. He's, I don't know why they're hunting him. I don't like it at all. So he let him go. So that was the most, like, I think standout story, certainly from back in those days. But how do they work it into the plot? And then, of course, the other big piece is, go ahead.
John Bernthal is going to be in this too. So
Yep.
don't know how that was going to. And they made a point that said like every Spider-Man movie, there's been essentially someone else from the MCU in that movie with them. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr., Homecoming,
Right.
Samuel Jackson, Far From Home, and Benedict Cumberbatch in Spider-Man No Way Home. So they do get partnered up, which is always fun with Spidey. He gets different personality.
Marvel team up.
And I don't know how he's going to do well with Punisher. Quite honestly, who is a guy kind of a crazy dude.
Because I mean, the Punisher is an OG Spider-Man character, ASM 129 from the early 1970s, but he was a bad guy of that stripe. He wasn't John Bernthal that we saw in Daredevil most recently, where he's, beating the guy to death with his own arms or like just doing a lot of crazy stuff. So you're right. That seems a weird connection to this character. We are getting Matt Gargan as the Scorpion, which is a classic Spider-Man villain, ASM 20 from the early mid 1960s.
Does he have a tie to like mob or like crime? Like I'm trying to think of like how he would tie into like the Punisher with who he goes after, right? Like he goes after organized crime, stuff like that.
He does, yeah. Not a strong one. Not like the Enforcers, which was a gang that Spidey fought, or the Crime Master, or the Rose and the Hobgoblin or Kingpin. It's not like any of those. Unless there's something I'm just not thinking of.
Spider-Man animated series, was it Spider-Man Neighborhood Friendly Neighborhood? Scorpion was the big bad in that. We had Tombstone. That's right. We also had Scorpion was the other big bad in the other crime team, whatever they were called. Mm-hmm. So he was in that. So I don't know, maybe they would, riff off of that. But then it makes me think, Charlie, that if they're going to bring in the Hulk, I mean, this is a theory I have, and I hope it's not the one, because what I really don't want is Hulk goes crazy and he's Savage Hulk again, and they have to take him down. And because Charlie,
which is it, because
the circus of crime has come to town, and the Ringmaster has hypnotized the Hulk.
Oh, he's got the hat.
So now that's how it's grounded. You bring in a weird group of clowns and circus performers. That's how you ground it.
Literal clown. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because that was a classic Ditko story. There was the Python Princess. There was the clown. There was a guy that got shot out of a cannon, so he was a cannonball guy, or what the hell ever. I don't know.
Cowboy too, like it was a rodeo dude or something like that.
That was from the Enforcers. The Enforcers was Ox, Fancy Dan, and the third dude who was something else. Like he was like.
Here we go. We got a strong man. We got the acrobats who are purple and black.
Yeah, two dudes. Yep, two dudes.
Yeah, and then the guy who shot himself the cannon, and he had all stuff. Because I'm looking at this picture right now in the Ringmaster.
Yeah,
what comic this was from? The art's pretty good though. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really curious about this. It could go horribly wrong. I mean, Marvel. It's hit or miss these days. Spider-Man has been hits, and this one could be weird. Because the other characters are coming back. Zendaya's coming back. Ned's coming back.
Right.
Mary Jane or Aunt May can't. And could they bring in Felicia Hardy finally?
She sends her regrets.
We talked about that.
Sadie Sink has a mystery role that could be exactly that. So I don't know. Obviously, more. This is the first of anything we've seen about it, so I'm curious to see which way it goes. All right, next story. Now, when you tuned in, I had music on, and the song that was on before you tuned in was the Mighty Crabjoys, which I found and added to my playlist. Yes. I love that. I love it. It cracks me up. So anyway, what's going on with fake songs from fake bands? What's going on?
So. Fake bands from St. No, you skipped Gremlins 3. So that was the next news.
Oh well, then we're reorganizing, and I already teed you up for this one. So go for it.
Okay. So yes, fake bands, good music. I thought this was a fun little article. We typically get this every once in a while, and basically you do get fake bands who make fake music, which is sometimes pretty good. And it kind of leans into what I've been watching, which is I'll talk about in the thing, but K-pop Demon Hunters, and that. Movie is just skyrocketed. It's got a banging soundtrack. It's all K-pop songs, so it's very cool. People are really into the big one song called Golden. So once again, these are fake bands coming through. People get it feels very Notorious. One of my favorites, Charlie, I don't even know if it's on this list, was Ming T from Austin Powers. Matthew Sweet was in that band, kind of a fake 60s band.
Susanna
Loved
Hoffs.
it. BBC One, I think was the song.
Yeah.
Was that the song, BBC
Yeah.
One? Yeah. Yeah.
BBC
So it was like a fake band with real musicians.
Two.
Yeah. So very fun. But so basically the most recent example was in Superman, the Mighty Crab Joys. The Mighty Crab Joys theme was in Superman. James Gunn loves music in all his movies. You know, you got that in obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm guessing because you're going to talk about something you've been catching up to. There's a lot of music in that too. And then Superman had not as much because it was a little bit more grounded with like more of a theatrical soundtrack, but it did have some songs within it. And one of those was the fake band. I'm not sure who's in the Marty Crab Joys, to be honest. If there's any like real musicians, they did play a song at Comic-Con though.
I mean, I don't think they're AI, but as far as like real musicians who are like actual popular musicians, somebody would be like, "Oh, it's so."
If you go to like the website, there's a picture of them. So they look like a punk band with leather jackets. And get this. Eric Frankenstein even wore a T-shirt of the band, the Mighty Crab Joys, in Creature Commandos.
Oh, there we go. I need one now. I absolutely must have a Mighty Crab Joys T-shirt. And of course that was featured in
here we go.
Clark's page.
Crab Joys, did they even list anybody? Yeah, okay.
What does it say?
Yeah. There's more to know about this. The guy looks awesome. He's got like looks like kind of a, I don't know. We'll find out more about who they really are. Who the people behind it are. That's kind of fun though, because it's probably real musicians and maybe get their big group, big break. Then we got in Zootopia, Gazelle sang Try Everything, which was Shakira, which I don't know. Is that a thing?
I mean, I knew that she did a song, and I think the first one that I heard it admired the other day. You know, something is popular when you're hearing it played in the supermarket. So that does ring a bell.
Well, it's probably an oldie now, Charlie, because it's 20 years old. So yeah. Yeah,
2012. That's a very long time. Yes, absolutely. All right, what else you got? You see, this is
the Freaky Friday movies. There's a second one coming out. Pink Slip, Take Me Away, which lead singer was Christina Vita Mitchell. Don't know anything about it. I'm sure it was big.
Okay.
I was going to say Josie and the Pussycats. I never saw it.
I heard I absolutely did, but I absolutely don't remember anything about it. But lead singer of the fake band was Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo, which is of course beloved by Ben and Parks and Rec. And they were the band that was playing on the roof at the end of 10 Things I Hate About You. That was them at the end of that movie. That's what I know about them.
Yeah, so basically she got to voice as it's the lead singer of Josie and the Pussycats. Right. So yeah.
The main Pussycat. Yeah. Oh, this is a movie. I watched this once recently. It was on HBO and we were in a hotel room and tuned into it again. But I love Sinners, my God. But the singer, Miles Canton, who played the character of Sammy, this was his first time, I think, on screen. And he's a real blues musician. Went ahead and did this song.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay. I was wondering if you really sang or not. Because it's a lot of voice.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, and that was in that very surreal scene where he's unlocking the gates of time, and there's all these musicians from different eras dancing around. It was nuts, awesome movie.
Yeah, and then obviously Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The Clash at Demon Head was the band of Envy Adams, and then basically Black Sheep was a song she sang, and Brie Larson did a version of it, covering it, so that's kind of cool. And I mean it's kind of neat. And then they finally brought Brie Larson's version out in 2021, so that's very cool. I like that.
Nice.
The next one I know nothing about. What is it? Oh, Turning Red. Okay, that was that Pixar movie about the girl who was going through puberty. And
right.
She was going through a change, turned into a red panda. I heard it's very good. My wife, and my son loved it. And
Billie Eilish and her creepy brother produced that song, I guess.
That's cool. I mean, it's neat how talented they are that they can do that. Then K-pop Demon Hunters, the Saja Boys, Your Idol Man. This is just so much fun. Basically, these demons try to become a boy band to get the souls of people. It's very funny. I love the art. It's very.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, exactly. So there was two bands, and there was also the Demon Hunters, who basically through time I'll talk about it later in the podcast. But yeah, I mean, then the Goofy movie, everybody talks about, like, there's a certain age, like below us, Charlie, probably about 5 to 10 years younger.
Yeah,
the Goofy movie was a big deal, and like they had the song called
'90s kids,
Powerline,
like
which I think Tevin
kids,
Campbell did the voice of this guy called Powerline. And apparently it's big, and they've done covers of it. And there was actually a very cute short on the Disney Channel, or no, Disney Plus, about the two voice actors. So you had the guy that does the voice of Goofy and his son, now grown up, and they were showing the real versions of them talking about the movie, reminiscing. It was very cute. I really enjoyed it because a lot of people think it's a great movie about fathers and son. So it's kind of coming of age.
I absolutely can't believe that has not been rebooted or adapted. There hasn't been a second one. Maybe there has been. Maybe in the straight to video era, maybe there's 12
they made
of them. I have no idea.
A goofier movie, and I remember Sean Seitz, my other college roommate. He thought the movie was great. So I mean, because he's got younger brothers, so I think that just became the thing. When you get younger brothers, you see stuff.
Yeah. Even more goofier. Nice.
Any other bands that you want to call out? Fake bands.
I loved Daisy Jones and the Six from that Amazon special that was out a couple of years ago. Because it was seriously, I love dumb satirical music. I had one come on my random playlist that was, Dewey Cox and his band. And all the songs from that were pretty spectacular. And again, these are not genre films, but God, another one's going to come to me. Russell Brand's character in the Get Me to the Greek. Now I can't remember, but it has a couple of really obnoxious, like filthy songs that I enjoyed, Stroke the Furry Wall and all that stuff.
The most famous fake band of all time is Spinal Tap. We're getting a sequel to that.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, a couple others. I mean, obviously the most famous, probably Blues Brothers, obviously fake.
Right.
Saturday Night Live, and they made a movie, so that was a big deal.
I mean, technically, the Monkees were a fake band too, as a TV show, and they're people
absolutely
of one of the. I think
isn't that a takeoff of the Beatles?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, well, cool, good deal, good deal.
And last one. Oh, here we go. Gem and the Holograms.
That was one of the most unsuccessful films of all time. I interviewed and it hasn't dropped yet, but Christy Marks, who co-created that, is somebody that we've talked to over on the Patreon. So tune in if you want the whole Gem of the Hologram story.
Fun fact, though, Charlie, at Comic-Con we had Cold Slither perform. They have a band who's doing that. That's great. They had the original singer from Gem and the Holograms come on stage and sing the Gem song too. It's very cool. There's a YouTube channel based on all of it. I think I shared it in the group, but yeah, so it's out there. Check it out.
That's awesome.
You can see Cold Slither and Gem and the Holograms, or just Gem.
Cold Slither.
And Synergy was the actual DJ in the video. It was great. They did a great job with it. Yeah. So next story is
Synergy, and it was Synergy. Yes. It was Synergy and it was Synergy. But yeah, so speaking of the 80s, Gremlins 3, huh? They can't get the check mark from the big man. What's up?
So yes, so this is once again, what do you get when old actors are at cons? They always talk about something's going to happen to a property they're involved with because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And it's ready to go. There's a script. Warner Brothers waiting on Steven Spielberg to read and approve. After 35 years, they've come up with a script. Warner Brothers is incredibly interested in doing it. Of course they are. They do have the one series on Netflix currently with the Gremlins about the Mogwai.
That's right.
Yeah, so apparently this is supposed to happen. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I remember, we obviously saw the Key and Peele sketch about the pitching of Gremlins 2, which is absolutely hilarious. Where all the different gremlins and it's a goofy thing and one of your favorite actors, Charlie,
and now they can't.
I was gonna say one of your favorite Star Trek actors is very famous in Gremlins 2 because he hooked up with the female gremlin.
I don't have any recollection. Who was it?
The doctor, the hologram. The doctor was that
Bob
character.
Picardo was in it. Oh my God, that's right.
Yes.
I just lost my train of thought. One thing they can't bring back in this that was from that pitch meeting, Hulk Hogan. Wasn't
a little late for Hulk. Yeah. A little late for Hulk, yeah. And by the way, I was watching, and I'll probably talk a little bit about the thing, but he was a real American, and he's real dead now. Sorry, Hulk. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know what you do with a third Gremlins. I mean, do you have it more like, they were released in a small town, then they were released in the big city in a big tower with a guy, John Glover, acting like Trump, or Ted Turner, I guess one of those two things. Right. So what do you do next, Charlie? I mean, and it's funny, the one thing about Gremlins, obviously the rules. You remember the rules with the Gremlins, Charlie?
Well, you don't feed them after midnight. You can't get them wet. And you can't expose them to sunlight. Was that the third one?
Yeah. Yes. So the funny part is, guys, it's always after midnight. It's always after midnight. Right? It's always after midnight. Midnight passes.
It's obviously focused on after midnight.
Within a 24-hour period.
Midnight where you are. So it's like
what's the window? It's like 6 a.m.
Body clock.
It's done.
Is their body clock attenuated to where they are? So it's like the way April explained to me how animals tell the passage of time. It smells like if you're in a room, it's filled with your smell, and then you leave and come back, and the smell degrades, and that's how they know that you went to work and you came back. I don't know. That was a story.
So
that was something she said she read.
What is the after midnight though? Right? Is it like when the sun comes up? Like when the sunlight comes? I don't know. I don't know the rules. Please, somebody explain it to me. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Because you got that loophole. But I mean, yeah, those are the rules. So
dig a little deeper.
How does that work with a Gremlins 3? Is it maybe the scientists? Remember, they had all the DNA, the two with the two twins scientists that were doing all the. Do you think maybe the DNA got saved? It gets shipped off, and maybe
so it's
somewhere else.
It's kind of like a Jurassic Park situation. It'd be a Jurassic Park situation.
Well, it'll be like, where, you see like all those cute dogs, like Labradoodles and stuff. They decide to graft like a Labrador with a gremlin and see what happens. We can make more. Instead of breeding them, we can just get them wet and they make more. And then, hijinks ensue, maybe.
So it's the island of Dr. Moreau. Because, it was, those films really are kind of a horror comedy or like a thriller, like a suspense comedy. I don't know how necessarily is you want to look at it.
But it just really turned into a comedy, like on, parts of it were there at the movie theater. And then the second one was like pretty much all just.
Or they were at the first one was when they were all at the bar and they're all like, where did they get all the props? Where did they get a little trench coat? Where they all have cigarettes? Yeah. Where did one get a wig? It was just you just had to give up at that point.
Watching Snow White on screen, right? Whistle While We Work, they're all singing and and then it gets kind of crazy at the end.
Yeah, it gets blown up. All right. So I know I posted this the other day. So A Quiet Place. We had a 1, we had a 2, and then we had like a 0.5, which was it wasn't even really a prequel. It was prequel. It was like Day of or whatever it is. So now it's coming back for a part 3, which is really part 4. I don't know. But anyway, this is going to move the story forward. So bringing back Emily Blunt and John Krasinski directing again, because did he not direct the second one? I know he directed the first one, or it was his baby.
He did all but Day One, so this will be the
Day
third
one
films he's directed. Yeah, so he's taking care of this. Obviously, Emily Blunt is his baby mama.
His wife,
mama. What, really old now? I didn't see the second one, Charlie, so I really don't know what the push of that film was.
The second one was picking up from when I just tell you the barest bone sense. It ended up they gathered up their stuff and took off.
It, though, so don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, and it's about their voyage to a safe place, which ends up being an island. So it kind of sounds like the 28 years later. Ironically, I think Cillian Murphy was in it as well. So that's all I'll tell you. But we should slam these before we go and talk about this. When it comes out, we should slam those other movies, and we'll have a Quiet Place-a-thon.
It has a date, July 9th, 2027. Wow, 2 years from 2 years.
Okay.
Wow, that's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Those kids are going to be really old.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's going to be like real time, like they'll age it up like appropriately. Like spend, 10
so
years.
Obviously this is
10 years
this is
whatever.
Yeah, this is moving the story forward, so it's not like and it's another prequel, because they were able to pull off a prequel because it was totally different characters, and you saw that movie as well. We both saw it, right?
I really love it. Joseph Quinn. When I wasn't sure about his character at first. I'm like, is he like autistic or something? But he was just basically he had PST. I mean, obviously PSTD, PTDSD.
He was a PYT. I
PYT,
wanna love
yeah,
you.
PTSD. Sorry, like he was just dazed. I'm like, is he autistic? No, no, he was just struggling with what the hell happened.
Yeah, it just shut down. World's falling apart. Yeah,
totally makes
absolutely
sense.
correct.
Yeah, and he survived. Well, sorry, spoilers, but in a couple years, he survived, so he potentially could have a role in this film.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because they were all that was New York City, and I feel like the other movies took place somewhere in rural New York, so upstate somewhere. Yeah. So he could, ostensibly end up wherever they were at, or I could be, maybe it was in Massachusetts or something, but made his way up the coast. I
don't remember how many years between the movies, like the day one, part one, part two. I don't know, and then
a couple years.
Because the first movie came out in 2018, so this will be 9 years post. So the little kids will be older, and that baby is no longer. I'm assuming they cast somebody different than the baby. So
that baby had an ironclad contract. They're not getting away from that.
Bring me back. Bring me back,
or I'll sue you.
Even if I'm only 5 years old and you're looking for a 10-year-old, I'm 5, but I can play 10.
Hey, we know that Paramount will roll over for about anything. Ouch! That's right. I said it. No, don't mind the hand that feeds me. But yeah, I enjoy these films. But yeah, it sounds like at least in the last film, they did stumble upon a way that they can fight back the monsters. And of course, the monsters, the whole thing is that they don't have sight, but they have super duper hearing, so you can't make a noise of any kind. You got to walk on sand in your bare feet. That was from the trailer of the first film. So yeah, I'm excited. So Krasinski will be back, but his character is dead, so he won't be there. And so hopefully it's not a prequel or in between curl, because that would suck.
It's a prequel with a couple just having domestic squabbles.
Oh boy, they do say the first film ended with Krasinski's character dying, but he returned in a flashback. What if it's one of those never saw a body, so it's a big reveal, he's back? I don't know. I hope not. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed those films, so I'm totally down with that. How quiet is this place? All right. Well, that takes us out of the news. Todd is in the arcade. Do I call it this time? You're in an arcade. You're not in a video store, because video stores don't. Arcades don't really. Arcades are very few and far between. Obviously,
Dave and Buster's are kind of, and they are bringing an adult arcade called Chuck, based on Chuck E. Cheese. So it's going to try to be Dave and Buster's, but the Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, so you got like a really sexy Chuck E. Cheese with like one of those really bad mesh shirts that you see at the club. You gotta put something out there that adults going to pay money for. But anyway, I'm obviously at my studio, so we both have to hop an Uber to get down to the Geek Easy. So mine pulls up. I went on the cheap this time, so it is actually a Toyota Tercel. Didn't even know they made these anymore. So it's just an AM radio, but I hear this very familiar advertisement. Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution. Provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show.
Talk nerdy to me. Talk nerdy to me.
We're sitting in the Geek Easy, cover band's playing, drinks are poured. And this week, I finally watched the full thing, which was K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. This movie came out a month ago. Me and my wife watched the first half, and we're like, oh, we got to go to bed. Then we finally got around to watch the second half. This movie is a lot of fun. It is a Sony animated project, so it is that really good animation. And what they've done is really do a good job of like incorporating a lot of the anime faces and things with really good animation. So it's very fun. And it's all about a Korean pop culture with the K-pop. And so the history of this is basically throughout time, demon hunters have used magic to basically kept the bad demon king away. So you've seen different versions of these demon hunters throughout time where they've done like ancient music, more like 50s, 40s, 30s, 50s through time. And of course now it's K-pop. So now you've got this trio that, basically they're called Huntrix. They are the biggest band in the world. Everybody loves them. They have their fans, and it's all about kind of playing with those tropes of that. Well, the demons are tired of losing. So they said, how can we beat them? Well, what's bigger than anything else? Obviously, it's
Pokemon.
What's the band that's big? The Korean boy band.
Oh shit! I've heard it.
Yes, it's. I've heard of it. I know they're not One Direction. That's a British band.
They're white. Sorry,
I'm looking it up.
Couldn't
really
be
quick.
any less K-pop.
It is
something town.
BTS, bigger
BTS
than life. They've got an army of fans who like screw up Trump. It's great. I love it that they just are a source of good for the music. So then basically the demons form a boy band, which is called the Saja Boys. Very cute. It's a battle, and then you do get like there's obviously a twist in what's going to happen. We do find out one of the demon hunters has an issue and she can't be truthful to her team, which then causes some issues on their ability to fight the demons. But I will say the plot's cute. It's fun. There's very interesting moments. I enjoyed it to pieces. But the music is fantastic for pop music. And at the end of the movie, they show the actual girls who are like the actual singers who do all the voice, like the singing and everything. They're great. So it's like they got these great real singers. Yeah. I don't know who they are, but doing an amazing job. The songs are great if you like pop music and that K-pop stuff where it's a mix of a little bit of hip hop and then, the pop, and the songs are just great. They're very fun. So I highly recommend it. It's just great. A lot of people are really getting into it. It's like been number 1 on Netflix, and it's probably got the song of the summer with Golden. Golden is a good song. So there you go. Check it out. It's for everybody.
Great.
You like music, you like fun, you like demon slaying. It's great. Next, Eyes of Wakanda. I didn't realize this dropped. I saw it on display. I'm like, oh, I'll watch this.
I didn't think I was going to get through it. We actually finished it earlier today because at first I was like,
you didn't know if you were going to get through like the first episode or through the whole series.
No, through the whole series in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
In a timely fashion. But because I think I dropped in a Discord as well. It's 4 segments or 30 minutes each, and it's a building. So you only watch the first one, which is it reflects each one is a different time period as you go forward. So it just it's rolling.
Wakanda has been part of some event somewhere else in the world, which I'm really glad they did that, because it was kind of cool to give some context of like how is Wakanda dealt, because they've been always secretive, but how have they dealt with the world and how long have they been around? Because I thought it was just going to be tales of Wakanda, like things within it, but no, this is going beyond their borders, which the first one, it was dealing with Crete. So this is Greece, which is kind of cool, which was great.
It was cool.
And I really appreciated what they did, because I felt like it really did a great job with the animation. The style was a little different. It was a mixture of the different styles we've seen, so I thought it was really well done. I just really liked. We got a new reveal of a new group of Wakandans that were kind of like the Secret Service, the MI6 of Wakanda, which was cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed what I saw. I thought it had some great animation, some really fun storytelling, and it layered in some mythos. So I really liked what they did here. I was worried it was going to go to a little bit too deep in its own butt about these are all the different kings of Wakanda. I mean, it could do I mean, they could do like a Game of Thrones thing if they wanted to, I guess. It's like but we've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, I just don't think it would fit based on what we saw. Well, actually, no, I take that back because there was, you could tell in that first Black Panther movie, there was definitely some ill at ease with M'Baku's people, but other than that, people seem to be all, otherwise they seem to be pretty united. But I will tell you, by the time you get to the end of it, there's a nice button that kind of brings it back to some other things that we're familiar with that not only relate to Black Panther mythos, but it really the overall MCU, but not with no gratuitous cameos. That part's very cool.
Okay, I'm surprised it's only 4 episodes. That's really weird. It's very short. Dropped all at once.
I mean, it's a weird one. It's nice that they can say we have this one story to tell and we're going to tell it, and based on that, we'll see if there's more stories to tell. But it was a concise story, and it brought things right back to where Black Panther started. So I will tell you that much. And that was very cool.
Well, it's really cool that it's standalone.
No questions.
Too.
Yes.
No, I like that it's standalones, which is nice because then it's like, I don't have to 6 episodes. It's kind of like What If was standalone stories,
right?
Which was cool.
Right.
I like that too.
What If managed to, even with the standalone stories, they did have kind of an overarching through line that went from beginning to finish, but it wasn't like, okay, I can tune in this one episode and I can enjoy Peggy Carter is Captain whatever instead of Steve Rogers. So yeah, exactly. So, but finish watching it definitely because it was very enjoyable.
So I did see that there's I saw I just looked at like the different 4 episodes. I didn't look at them. I just saw that like their title cards and there's an image. And then the 4th one, I think the 4th one is with Iron Fist. Is that right?
Not the 4th one, but one of them is with.
But it's one of them.
It's with the character wearing that mask. Yes,
got it. Oh, okay, got it. So I'm like, that's interesting because that whole
something that's very similar.
I mean, because you got some like ancient cultures, and obviously you probably would have had some crossover, which is kind of neat to do.
Yeah,
so very cool.
Don't sleep on it. Watch the rest of it because it's quick.
Oh, I definitely will. I didn't know if it was going to be dropped to like half this week, half that. We don't really know any way series.
I'm wondering too. There's no rhyme or reason. Like I watched the first episode of Twisted Metal, which I didn't touch on because you've not gotten through the first season, but they dropped 3, then they're going to drop 2 and 2 and then another 3 and then it's done. So it's like, what's the methodology around that?
No clue. You'd think they'd want to milk that horse.
Yeah.
You don't milk a horse. Sorry.
You milk anything with nipples, Greg.
Watch out for milking a horse. And if there's no nipples, stay away.
And then go.
But it does say here on Wikipedia, Charlie, it says it is the first series of Phase 6 of the MCU.
The television series, sure. Yeah, where they call Fantastic Four the first film of Phase 6. Yeah.
So, quite honestly, let's not get it tied up in the phases anymore because
who cares?
It's just dumb. That's what it's like.
It just doesn't really mean anything. So, all right. Well, we both saw a movie. You've been talking about it. I've been talking about how bad I think it looks. But the review bots got me, and I went to go see it. And I'll let you take it from there. I'll give my thoughts in a minute.
Yeah, Naked Gun. So for anybody who doesn't know anything about the series, because obviously it's very old, goes back to an original TV series called Police Squad.
1982 was the show.
I've never watched that show at all, but we got from that The Naked Gun. That series of movies with Leslie Nielsen.
1988, I think. Yeah,
we got O.J. Simpson, and then obviously, and then there was 3 movies. There was 33, and a third was last one, which I completely am like, did they only do 2? No, they did a third. I'm like, I think the third was with Anna Nicole Smith. Is that the one?
That must have been the third one. Yeah, the third one was the third. It was the 33 and a third because they did funny things with the titles and
was 2 and a half.
Yeah, it was 2. Yeah, 2.5 and then 3 and a third, 33 and a third or something.
What were they going to do if they came with 4, like 1/4? I mean,
4 quarters.
Yeah, the parody movie scene at that time was kind of dead. I mean, you had like Mel Brooks. He was making like Dracula Dead and Love It, which was horrible. So it kind of like died off. Yeah. So then we've got this reboot, Naked Gun 2025. We've got one of the director is from The Lonely Island, who also did the Rescue Rangers film, which was great. I love that. And then you've got Liam Neeson and you've got Pamela Anderson, which is great that she's back. She's kind of reclaimed her own place in basically from being a bombshell, the porn tape, all that stuff. Now she's like, I just want to be an actress and just be myself. So she in this movie, she looks great. She doesn't really dung up or anything, but she is she's really good in it. She goes for it.
She looks like a human female woman of appropriate age, and I admire the shit out of that. I really
plastic
do.
surgery she had 30 years ago, because she had a lot of plastic surgery, Charlie. Yes. Look at before Baywatch and then after Baywatch. That's all I'll say.
I guess plastic surgery not on her face, but perhaps
no. She didn't do anything to fight age. Yeah, she has not done plastic surgery to fight age. Let's put it this way. But yeah, I mean, she just goes all in it. One of the best scenes she has is when she basically is going to be a sultry singer, and she doesn't do what you think, which is great. I loved it to pieces. I'm like, oh, okay, I love it. They're in on it. Well, yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. But this movie is a joke a minute, because after a while, it's been so long since I've seen a movie like this that I'm like, I'm ready for a serious movie, because they do some things that are very. And then the first thing I see in this movie is the device that they're trying to steal, and it says plot device. I'm like, I know where we're going, and I'm all in for this movie. Nobody takes himself serious. You got Danny Houston as the bad dude, who can be a really bad dude, but he's in it too. Everybody is all in on this film. You got like the chief, who's a badass, but you get that. You got lots of jokes. They cover like modern stuff, but they, it movie just made me laugh. There was some lines I'm like, these are going to be some of these movies lines you can't actually quote, because they're like, ooh, but it's not dated. It doesn't feel like it's clunky. It doesn't feel like disaster film or superhero movie. Those bad things.
It doesn't feel like I didn't get around to it because April steadfast. She's like, I'm not into those kind of comedies. That's not my jam. So she didn't go with me. I took my buddy Sned. But I didn't end up watching the first one again. But I feel like if you watch that first movie, even though some of the references are dated, Reggie Jackson, the Queen, whatever it is, you don't have to be like, oh, this is so, out of whatever it is. But I would have to imagine the jokes in it still land. And I feel like these will as well. I love the ongoing coffee joke.
Cornier, though. A lot cornier. Yeah. I think this movie had a little bit of like, because it's, the Lonely Island guys, a
little sharper.
Great. Yeah. I think it's sharper. I think that's the thing. I think you can't do that. It's going back would feel very cheesy and like, wah, wah, like kind of watch like Ace Ventura, things like that. It's very, so, I don't know, Charlie. I mean, is I know the movie didn't perform as big as a lot of people.
I think
comedies generally don't. It was made for $42 million. So I think this is in the wheelhouse of what this movie was supposed to do. Could have some legs.
Probably so. Legs is possible. But again, as I say, you and John and I were talking about it, there is a niche that really gloms onto this kind of stuff. But you're right. As far as mass market, that's why they didn't spend those big bucks on it, because they're not going to make the big bucks out of it. So that I get. And do I see it as being, it's got, like I said, I haven't seen a comedy in a long time that has an over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, when's the last time we saw a comedy in the theater? That's the problem. We typically don't anymore, right?
Man.
They're all like released to Netflix.
Yeah, exactly correct. So, they rolled the dice. Yeah, you're right. If it pulled 17 million domestic this weekend, it'll definitely snag back its budget within a couple of weeks.
And then it's made 28 million. So that's not too bad for a comedy overseas too.
Okay. You said that's 28 total or 28 overseas?
28 million total.
Total. Okay.
Overseas. So, obviously
they're on their ways. They're on their way.
But I don't know what American comedies do really big overseas anyways, because you can't really translate jokes to like Mandarin Chinese, I don't think. You can, because it's just goofy.
You try.
But some can't.
They don't show a lot of our movies anyway, but yeah.
And then just folks, just to let you know, I'm going to have eventually a future episode, probably in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, about the status of the end credits scenes, because even this movie had end credits scene. Like at this point, it's just so ridiculous. Like I said, it's fine for the MCU because they set it up, but when you're talking about a goofy spoof comedy, it's just a bridge too far.
Todd, I know you can't let it go. Everybody's got something, and this is your thing. I get it.
How many people think to stay around for Naked Gun, the post credit scene, Charlie? So how many people are actually seeing this?
I think people in my theater stayed. I know my Snyder had to run to the bathroom, but then he was coming back, and I'm like, there was one more scene. I stayed.
And that's the problem. Bathroom time should not be. You're supposed to leave. You've held your bladder long enough, and now you got to come back. You're going to miss it.
I rarely make it through any movie without having to take a bathroom break. Yes. Oh my God. All right. Well, let's move on. Todd, you are 2 episodes into Creature Commandos, 1 episode in, because we feel like we talked about recently.
3 or 4.
Okay.
I'd have to remember which episode was which.
Yeah, there are 7, and I just started over because I think we had watched the first one, and I'm like, because we saw Superman, and because Peacemaker is only a couple weeks away, I said, there are 3 pieces, there are 3 productions from DC Studios now, so I want to say that I've seen them all, and so and this one ties back to Peacemaker season 1, which is selectively canon. There's some saying that everything is canon except for that end bit when he walks up and talks to the Justice League characters, because they're all 3 of those actors are not portraying those roles anymore. But
weren't they in like silhouette too? They weren't even showing
Wonder Woman. It was Wonder Woman, Superman, and then Flash and Aquaman. The first 2 were shadowed. Flash and Aquaman had lines and spoke to each other. I
feel like we're going to get away with that in some way. They're just going to like.
I think they're gonna dance around it. But anyway, yeah, watch all of this. Great story, extremely gory and graphic sex, which April was like, don't know how much I love the graphic sex in cartoon form, but otherwise I think it's really good. So we enjoyed it. That was good, and it's probably a good bridge between seasons 1 and 2 of Peacemaker, because Rick Flag Sr. will be the main villainous character hunting Peacemaker in season 2, and this was kind of his story. He got a dye job between this and Superman because his hair is gray, and you don't really know how he could have been Joel Kinnaman's dad, but whatever. He's taken that Nick Fury drug so that he doesn't age very fast. Yeah. But
I did look. I've seen the first 3, so
you have seen the first 3,
and it's fun because like every episode is like a focus on each of the characters, which is kind of fun,
right?
And so you get to learn a little bit more about them. So, and quite honestly, you don't have to watch this if you're like, I have to know everything. You don't.
Yeah,
this is just if you enjoy that, hey, more about them.
Yeah. And it does have a sad ending. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's worth the watch. All right, so it was Todd, jog my memory, and I should know this. When did Spider-Man Day become a thing? Because I feel like I've not heard of it until August 1st, which was a couple days ago.
I do not even think about it, because Batman was the first one to have like Batman Day, I think.
Yeah,
I do not want. Yeah, Charlie, every day has a national day. There's like 45 things.
I know,
Ice Cream Day. Why is Ice Cream Day like 25 times a year?
I feel like as a diehard Spider-Man person, I would have heard of this, but I have not. But anyway, it was so what it really reflects is the street date of Amazing Fantasy 15 was August of 1962, which means actually the comic was on newsstands in June. So it's kind of it's beyond meaningless in a lot of ways because it's not even accurate. But everybody's on social media going blah, blah, this and that. So I'm like, whatever. I always, I have my tablet nearby. And if I'm on lunch or I'm taking a mental health break for 5 minutes, I'll blast through part of a comic. So I brought up my Marvel Unlimited app, this week's new comics, one of which was Predator versus Spider-Man #1. It's a miniseries, I'm assuming. And I blasted through it. And this is, I'm very much assuming, non-canonical, because it's set in a Spider-Verse where Mary Jane and Peter Parker are a couple, which currently they are not, where he works for J. Jonah Jameson, which currently he does not. But it is graphically violent. It's like a Predator film. So think about...
Really? Do they do a M rating or something on the...
Think about... I didn't notice, but I would imagine they did. But yeah, I'm talking about strung up skinned bodies and murders happening. And yeah, it's graphic. So Spidey, who is, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, is tracking down, this intergalactic hunter. But we get a very unsurprising entry at the splash page at the end of the book of someone who also is getting in on the hunt. Yes.
I've got a hunch. Yeah. I mean, Lizard is kind of close to a Predator, maybe. I don't know.
You're right. But the Lizard is, he's mindless, in a lot of his incarnations. So where the Craven is not. So,
should Marvel have just a line that is just like, none of these things are real. It's a fun story. It should be like
you mean like what if? Like what if?
Call it, it doesn't have to be what if, because it could just be like, we've got Elseworlds and should be like Marvel alternate visions or something, like Marvel Visions. I don't know.
Or just, hey, you know what? This is licensed property, so here's the Avengers and the Aliens, which is another miniseries I read and talked about. So yeah, I think if you don't
Fake
lean
Brood.
into it,
Brood.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. No, the Brood was. Did the Brood come first? Or the Brood? Did the Brood?
Oh yeah, the Brood
Brood,
because Alien was 79 and the Brood debuted in the, I believe, late 70s. I'd have to look it up.
I thought they were from the 80s. I thought they were the ripoff, but I don't know. But anyway, what I say, it's a cool monster story.
Oh, you're right, Charlie. 82.
I thought so.
So you're right.
I thought so.
Well, I'm ripping off the ripoff.
Yeah, reverse. Okay, well, what do you call Todd xenomorphs then if they're not the Brood? What are you calling them? Todomorphs?
Brudomorphs.
The Brudomorphs. They just marry them together. And so one night this week, doing the old roulette with streaming services, I'm flipping through Paramount Plus. And what's a movie that everybody says, oh my God, how would you? So great, and blah, blah, this and that. Training Day. I've never seen Training Day. 2001, Denzel, very famous role for him. A very young Ethan Hawke. You also get bit parts played by Dr. Dre and Snoop. Not together. They're not playing together, so they're not like appearing as themselves. But yeah,
they're not rapping corner saying, "Hey, what up, Denzel?
What up,
Ethan
Denzel?
in the house." Yeah, well.
They're one thing. First of all, great film. I'm not going to say too much more about it because I think it holds up. If you enjoy
I've seen the end of it, I think the end of it is pretty much this is like
yeah. It's very
white guy
much
saves the day, right?
Not exactly.
No.
Not exactly. You do get to see Eva Mendes completely naked. So I mean that's not a plus for a dude watching a movie like this. But regardless, if you enjoy Boys in the Hood or other gangster films of kind of quasi that time period, you'll enjoy this.
Cops? You like Dirty Cops?
I can't say everybody likes Dirty Cop movie. I didn't feel it was dramatically dated. Macy Gray makes an appearance. Remember Macy Gray, how she was popular? No.
I didn't. Well, yes, I do. I just didn't think acting was something I was expected to see. Macy Gray.
You know what? Two credits I can think of. There's this and her performing as herself in the first Tobey Spider-Man movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, in like the club where he was like
in the
being emo?
It's first Spider-Man movie in the outdoor party.
Oh, really?
That's her. Yeah,
God,
isn't that weird?
Forgot about it. She must have been a Sony artist.
Well, and talk about somebody who's kind of fallen off the face because I have heard nothing about Macy Gray. But anyway, great flick, Todd.
She's got the voice of Carol Channing.
I try to say goodbye.
Yeah. We're in Carol Channing. She is Charlie. She's the modern Carol Channing of R&B.
That pops up on your.
I bet no one else has ever said that about Macy Gray.
That's the name of the episode now. It's your Black Carol Channing.
Modern incarnation of Carol Channing.
Oh my goodness! But anyway, Todd, you know what? I would recommend it. You like a good dirty cop movie and a shoot 'em up, and Cliff Curtis.
There's a lot of those that are not on my list that I need to see.
Yeah, Cliff Curtis, who was in one of the Walking Dead movies, and he was also in the really excellent follow-up to The Shining, the Dr. Sleep. He was Danny's buddy. That's a great flick. I would recommend that highly. All right. Well, that takes us out of the Geek Easy. Skipping out on the bill yet again because they keep letting us back in. It's a bad business decision for them, but whatever. They're making money selling drugs out the back. Anyway, I've got my Air Qantas app out. We are getting that flight to the land down under. Hologram Tina and the mutants are awaiting our take in the Thunderdome on Galactus.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Thank you, Tina. The mutants have been gathered for a topic or a game to be entertained. And in this episode of the Thunderdome, we're going to be looking back at, after watching Fantastic Four, you haven't seen it, please do, but we're going to be talking about the actual comic book issues that actually covered the coming of Galactus. That would be Fantastic Four, issue 48 through 50. I believe these were written, Charlie, do you know the dates?
66? Was it 1966?
I'm hoping you know because I don't know.
Well, you said you had
well, this is 61. That's the beginning of the title, so that'd be 66. 65, 66.
Yeah, so just they actually did come out monthly, so just do your tables, 12, 24, 36,
so 65, 66.
4 years. 4 years, yeah.
So around that, depending on when it launched. So we're basically at 4 years in. This was the first Marvel comic book that really pivoted to success. So then, Stan and Jack were still on this title at the time. And then it's funny when you look at the opening credits scene. Stan, I don't know if he did this every issue, like he would give himself in the bullpen like a different name or a different quote. But I'm going to see if I can find the first one, or at least one of them. Come on back out. My Marvel Comics froze, Charlie. I want to see. Come on, Marvel.
I think you have an internet cloud over your house today. That's what it is. They're going to get you.
It's weird. Some pages come up, but typically it would be like Stan something. The inker and then the editor would all get like these weird little goofy phrases.
Joe Sinnott and Jack King Kirby and burr. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. I'm like, did you do that every episode, Stan? Whatever. At that point, was he writing how many books at that point? Probably like
all
8 books
of
a month.
them.
Well, I don't know how many titles were out there at that point.
If it was 66, it was FF Avengers, one Spider-Man title. Iron Man was not out yet. Did they have the Tales of Suspense with Thor? And then they had Marvel action feature, something that was Cap and Iron Man or something. So there was less than 10.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This is issue 48. So this was basically a 3-issue arc. And it was kind of a weird one. Charlie, you were talking about basically, yes, it's 3 issues, but it seemed like things were just kind of picking up and dropping along the way. So half of this first issue was kind of wrapping up a previous storyline with Inhumans, which was really weird. But it says Stan Lee. Okay, here we go. I'll read the whole thing. The fateful vibrations have started thanks to Maximus, and also thanks to Stan Lee, writer without peer, Jack Kirby, penciler of the year, Joe Sinnott, inker most sincere, Artie Simek. How did he get in here?
Oh my God! Stop!
Stan, the man. He had more words per page than anyone under the planet.
Do you remember Claremont's quote when you and I were talking to him? Stand at the pearly gates. Hey, St. Peter, it's me. Hey, true believers, St. Peter, it's me, Stan Lee.
Let me tell you about how I got up here. It happened in 6 simple pages. Here's my origin story. And yes, I wrote a story about God too. Yeah, here we go. So regardless, so this is a really weird story. It starts off with the Inhumans taking on Maximus, Fantastic Four together. Inhumans, I don't know when they actually debuted, but this was wrapping up their debut story. I checked it out. Oh, their debut story. So a lot was happening here, but kind of a goofy, Maximus is Black Bolt's brother. He wants to kill the humans, right? And it doesn't go well.
Johnny has this obsessive love thing with Crystal, where eventually they get expelled in a big, it's a dome.
Well,
but
they call it the negative zone. I'm like,
it's not the negative zone. No.
It's like weird.
It's just like a big rock dome that he can't see through. And Johnny's like, I will die if I can't get to Crystal. So it's very, very maudlin.
Well, and Crystal didn't have her white bands in her hair either at this time. So Black Bolt looked weird. He had a weird helmet that didn't look right. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Medusa looks like Medusa always does. And is it Gorgon is the guy with the big claw, he's hooves. Like a Minotaur.
Yep. He's got the hooves.
Triton is the other guy. Triton is the fish guy.
And then you've got what's his name, the guy who can see through the Karnak is the guy who can see the faults and everything. So the humans, they were introduced and never heard of again.
Yes. Oh, yes, never again. They certainly didn't try to make us think that they were the next best thing since the X-Men because of a rights issue. Didn't happen. Then we segue into the sky is on fire, but there's no heat, and blah blah blah.
Before that, we do get the Skrulls. They basically pans to the Skrulls.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, look, it's a Silver Surfer. We have to hide ourselves, and they can cloak and do this stuff. So, because they said, Galactus cannot be very far behind if we see the.
Yep. Yeah. So they're just teeing it up that the Galactus is his big. So this was probably the first super big scary threat that the Marvel universe ever had, because obviously there was a guy or organizations like Hydra or whatever, but there was never any like intergalactic like super scary bad guy, right? Like even Thor. Well, I guess Thor had Surtur, but maybe that was later on. But nobody is really Galactus. Galactus is like the guy. Yeah,
which was interesting because we do get like the fire in the sky, kind of like the movie.
Yeah,
but this was actually created by who, Charlie?
Oh my God.
The Watcher.
The Watcher.
Like, why are you doing that, Watcher? I thought you didn't want any attention drawn to you.
This entire thing, the Watcher is the chattiest bitch in this whole thing, because his whole thing is he's just supposed to. I have a Watcher on my shelf. I was moving my figures around, so now the Watcher. He's very prominent, standing in the background behind the Fantastic Four, watching them. But yeah, he's chatting and he's getting involved in different stuff. So I'm glad that.
Where did he make his first appearance? I don't even remember.
You're going to have to give it a quick googs, but it was obviously prior to this. But yeah, he's in the mix. He shows up, lets the squad know, hey, this dude named Galactus is coming. He's a bad cat. He's going to kill you all. But first you'll get his basically his boy, his lieutenant, if you will, is the Silver Surfer, who then shows up. Not terribly dissimilar than what we saw in the film. So that part of the Silver Surfer is a dude. Brace yourself. Oh, issue 13. Wow. So he is, wow. Of the Fantastic Four, you mean? So he's an FF character. Okay. I mean, anything at that time was, because by the time this would have been coming out, we would just have been getting Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 14. So anything you saw in those first 12 issues was an OG FF character. So Skrulls, Doom, Impossible Man.
I'm just trying to figure out why he showed up. I mean, the Skrulls, when did they show up? Obviously, a lot of things were happening, and it seems like it was funny because it's like does feel like, man, it's like there is like we have 85 ideas, and we're just going to throw them out there, and they all lasted, which is
they did. They're all still here 60 years later. So then things start to proceed largely like we see in the film in a lot of ways, as things without
Reed grows a beard.
Yeah. Reed doesn't shave. He is, and Todd, I was sending you clippies as I was reading this. Reed is this movie falls into lockstep with what people refer to as the very early misogynistic and sexist behavior in these panels, like Reed acting or Sue saying, why doesn't he, I'm his wife, why won't he talk to me? And he's like, well, silly woman, get out of here, I'm busy, you can't come in my lab. And
you can't come in now, not yet. I'm like, what is he doing in there?
Yeah, something with those stretchy arms. But yeah, just so thank God that part of it doesn't exist. And we see in the film, obviously Sue is a leader, she's the leader in a lot of ways of the effort of what you see in the film, which is not really the case here. She does play kind of the dumb blonde in a lot of cases, or at least they're trying to paint her in that box, which I don't care for, but it was the times, what are you going to do? It's nice to see on Earth 828 that they're a lot further along than I feel like we certainly were back then.
Yeah. But the Watcher just shows up and he's got this like thing of like metal with things. He goes, I've been causing those phenomena with my matter immobilizer. But when I saw that my artificial fire shield caused panic among the humans, I substituted organic space debris in its place. And he just shows up. It's like, what?
I thought I should explain myself. Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any
just
sense.
Say, hello, I brought you a bottle of wine. Can we talk?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did he do this?
I brought you some wine and cheese. So things continue to unravel. We're getting close to the end of the first issue. We do then see Galactus, and I do love, and this was immediately corrected in issue 49, first panel, that he is in very beautiful red and green. He is Christmas Galactus in his first appearance.
Oh yeah, in the page before that, Charlie, I don't know if you noticed, there's this weird like page that is not comic book art. It's like pictures of real thing, or like I didn't get that. That was a weird choice.
Apparently, that was a Kirby thing that happened in other spots as well. I feel like I read that recently. But yeah, he liked
a bad look for Galactus. Yeah,
he liked and then we get into it. And like I said, what plays out in very Stan Lee fashion is a lot of what we see in the film we do because Alicia Masters, who is the Thing's blind sculptor's girlfriend, or vision impaired, however it is that you want to say it, does encounter the Silver Surfer, and and again she touches things, and that's how she knows it. She's like, I can feel it. Was very similar to the 2007 Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie where it was Kerry Washington who was Alicia, and she's like, I can sense you're not a bad guy, and blah blah blah, and so they're working on the Silver Surfer in issues 2, and then deep into issue 3 that he needs to do something to save the Earth because there's living people on it, and more often than not, Galactus is just consuming empty planets. And this is where it's funny. So when you kind of compare contrast. Is it who's playing Galactus in the film? It was not
Ralph Ineson.
I was Iverson. I was because he's something like that. And it was Ralph I. Is that you get the sense that Galactus is very evil. He's on a mission. He wants what he wants. Where this Galactus comes out and says more than once, well, I'm really not evil. I feed, I don't really want to hurt anybody. But I'm like, but you are here going to consume a planet with people on it.
Well,
so they just
he and the Watcher have a confrontation because apparently Watcher's been trying to conceal the Earth, and that's something that's happened. It is funny because they're just basically hanging out in the city, both the same size, just talking. And we do get the Fantastic Four that kind of like try to fight. It doesn't work. And one of my favorite panels is it shows that apparently there's a shared bathroom for the Fantastic Four. So Reed's shaving and Ben's taking a bath. Very weird.
And Johnny's 5 floors of the Baxter Building. They can't each have their own bathroom.
It's like the what is it? Different Strokes. They all have the same bathroom. And then the Brady Bunch. They all share the same bathroom. Right. Then we got Johnny. He's dirty. And then I love the fact that the Silver Surfer crashed on the glass of Alicia Masters' apartment and just falls in. Just so yes,
it's a bunch of weird stuff. So yes, we then get to the climactic battle where the Silver Surfer finally turns against Galactus, and the Watcher says, "Okay, Johnny, I got a mission for you. I have to send you through the cosmos and these panels and stuff because you need to capture this device, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, but only you can do it." Because of your flame powers. I'm like, well, if he's going through space and dimensions and shit, how is his flame powers going to help? Is there air in all of these places? I mean,
Charlie, Stan Lee was a physicist and well-renowned scientist, so he knew all these things. He's like, he could explain it away.
Didn't know how air worked.
His great, even there's one panel I remember he wrote like, through the imagination of time, and this happened. It's like, what is he even doing? He's just like wishing it away, like, oh yeah, just follow along, kids.
Yeah, just come on. Yeah. So anyway, Johnny gets
you spent 12 cents on this. You're not getting a degree from Harvard for my science.
Yeah, go back to school. So Johnny does eventually capture the MacGuffin, which is he brings back and puts in Reed's hand. It's the ultimate nullifier, which is this weird little like box
thing. I call it
the
French tickler. It looks the most ridiculous looking thing in the world.
It looks like it's a finger gun, basically.
Not even that. It's like a little antenna. It's weird. It's not even like a pistol, barrel. It's really
goodness.
weird looking. It's one of the worst. But what I like, Charlie, is though when Galactus was like, I don't want to deal with you, but I'm gonna bring somebody down. We actually get the first appearance of the Punisher.
Right.
Which is not the Punisher, which is just weird.
I had read this. This wasn't something I plucked out of the Marvel guidebook back in the day. So I'm like, oh, there was another Punisher. And it was a little robot that basically all the fighting is talk fighting. So Ben's talking through punching this thing or whatever it is. But yeah, Johnny returns with this device, which he gives to Reed. And instead of using it, Galactus cuts a deal. And he's like, well, I just want that thing. And then I'll leave.
Because you're just ants with a matchstick in a matchbook box is what he says.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
So he says, well, I'm just gonna take that off your hands. And then he says, well, I'll leave, but Silver Surfer, because you effed with me, basically, you are banished. He gets the no soup for you. He's fired. He can't leave Earth.
You can't leave the bounds of the Earth.
Yeah, so he is now a Marvel Earth character. And obviously this gets reversed because, the Silver Surfer's big thing is he travels the galaxy doing surfboard shit and whatever it is. But at the time being, he's stuck. And so the story ends, but then we get the continuation of the story, which was teased on the cover of Johnny Storm's first day at college or whatever.
There's one bit though I didn't know, Charlie. Maybe you know.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
we do get this one little bit where we've got a future villain.
Okay.
Who's reading the newspaper And he says,
He's creeping.
How and he's like bald, got a big brow going for it. He goes, how ironic it is after all the awesome superpowered menaces that have fought, their final defeat won't come from a Dr. Doom or from a Galactus. No, it'll come from a far more unexpected source, from someone who has the purpose, who has the method, and the time is almost ripe for me to completely smash the inspecting Fantastic Four. Only I have the power. I'm like, I don't know who this dude is, but he's probably like the Mad Thinker, maybe. I don't know.
I think
I thought it was
turns out in the next issue
he's wearing a lot of he's wearing pants and shirt.
Yeah, I think he's just one dude, and then it's the next issue where he bamboozles the thing into something and blah. It's kind of like, the thing got bamboozled and given up his powers in the first 2005, like Julian McMahon tricked him, and I think this was kind of like this. So, but yeah, then we get Johnny Storm going to the college State University, where he meets Wyatt Wingfoot, who I think they make some reference to the fact that he's a Native American, and probably in some racist fashion, I can't remember, or they decided to tune that out. Now, Wyatt Wingfoot, I will tell you, becomes a longtime friend of the Fantastic Four, but also is the boyfriend of the She-Hulk for a while during, yes, he left his tribe to learn the ways of the white man or something.
Don't go there, Sean. Let's not go there. You did miss though the thing soliloquy of now, because he said about Alicia, apparently thinks that she's all God. Silver Surfer. He goes through the days. He punches a wall because someone thinks he's horrific, and he's like, woe is me.
And she's like, why did Ben not speak to me? I'll just die if he doesn't come back. It's way over the top. It's the Crystal and Johnny thing going all over again. But and then it wraps up. So that's it. So it's weird that there was a part of the story on the end, and there was a part of something on the end of the last one. So it's like, why not?
And you get that, and then you get Crystal pining for Johnny. At the end of that the story as well. So it's like, wow, they're putting everything in here.
Yeah,
okay.
They did. It was
because they're like, we might get canceled tomorrow, so here's all these story bits.
Yeah, keep it coming back. So I mean, it was a good story. If you think you can, trim off the beginning and the end, because kind of like the end, it's kind of like the butt of a loaf of bread, from back to front. If you're slicing this as bread, just cut those parts out.
Well, I think if ultimately, if there was anything there, the movie plucked out enough of just what we needed to cover to make it work. Yeah, because that's a good thing. And obviously they switched to Shalabal, which, has a connection to Norrin Radd, which is fine. And you know what? It's the execution in the comic doesn't have to match the execution in the screen.
Correct.
And I think, you know what? There's value in the old, value in the new.
Right.
But what works best for the medium is what matters. And quite honestly, if they did what Stan Lee did, they'd have to pay the writers a lot more, because there's so many words on a page that they would have to make the movie 8 hours long.
Yeah, right. Absolutely correct. All right. Well, let's wrap things up by talking a little bit about what's on the horizon in the next, I'm looking at this list, at least 24 months. Yeah, 2.5 years, actually, looking at this. Plus, we've got some outdated stuff. So I'll tell you what, I'll run through the list and we'll circle back anything that we want to talk about. Right now, we're watching The Eyes of Wakanda. So that's out now here in August. Marvel Zombies.
It's already done. So no more waiting.
So cross it off. Marvel Zombies, we're going to have that in October. Wonder Man, December, which I'm looking forward to because I love the character. Then we go all the way to next summer, Spider-Man Brand New Day, which we were talking about. This list is not in a great order because we'll have Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in March of next year. Vision Quest is 2026. I was reading a blurb by Todd Stashwick. He was overseas and just came home. So I think this is done filming because he was a major character in that. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 and 3 are date TBD, but Season 2 we should see in 26. Punisher TV special will be in 26. Avengers Doomsday will be on December 18 of 2026. And then nothing on the big screen until Secret Wars in 2027. That's really spacing things out for them. But then we do get into the TBD projects like Blade, a second Shang-Chi film, Armor Wars, which I feel like is off the slate. I don't know if that's going to be a thing.
TV series, and now it's a movie, right?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to dig on down there.
From a TV series to a movie with Don Cheadle in the lead as War Machine.
I would imagine. And then the second season of X-Men 97, which we've known about, but we don't have a date.
I thought X-Men 97 was going to be before Spider-Man, quite honestly, because that's what happened before. So it's kind of shame that we don't even know. The one thing that worries me is we've got a Marvel Zombies happening in essentially 2 months' time.
Yeah.
Not seeing anything.
October. Yeah.
Not seeing anything.
No trailer,
no nothing. Yeah,
that's a weird choice. Like I said, Vision Quest. I'm excited. Terry Matalas is running that. He ran Star Trek Picard, and certainly in the third season, it was absolutely fantastic. Totally loved it. I know you and I are both really fired up about the Punisher TV special because it'll be all the things we needed without giving us yet another show. And then, Blade is a punchline, man. I just feel like it's the Great White Buffalo.
They're on their way in now. They're going to make it. So, which is funny. It's like, it's a guy killing vampires. And it's like Kevin Feige said, can't be a guy in leather killing vampires. Like, do you not know what Blade is? I mean, do you want to see the original Blade who had like weird sunglasses that were yellow and a weird khaki or tan green thing doing things with Dracula? Yeah.
It was weirdly popular. Like Shang-Chi, definitely shouldn't see another film. But about the Armor Awards. So here it says, Don Cheadle, War Machine. As of September of 2022, Hollywood Reporter said it was being reshaped into a movie rather than TV series, but we've heard nothing. So that's not helpful.
So this is getting shrunk a little bit compared to what it used to be, which is good. We talked about that quality over quantity. I think we're getting there. We're not revisiting their vision, of the things that already happened. It looks like most of these things will be originals and there'll be one shots to get these characters in. So from there, though, I think the thing that scares us the most, we talked about this before, from where we ended with Fantastic Four, we're a year away from anything new from what will probably be shown in a film because we've just not seen a lot of impact from the TV series that actually impacts the movies. So in that time, Charlie, we have to establish. No, and after Thunderbolts, I thought we were going to get the Fantastic Four joining the MCU, but we didn't. Obviously, we got spoilers for like 5 seconds. Doom showed up at the end of this. We don't know what for, what's going to happen there. So, and then we're left with Thunderbolts forming a team, which is the new Avengers, right? And then we've also got Captain America forming his own Avengers. So ultimately, how are we just going to show up in the next film and just say there are two Avengers team, and now it's going to be instead of the new Avengers, going to be Avengers and West Coast Avengers? Is that how they're going to tackle it, Charlie?
Oh, they're both on the East Coast, though. So I don't. There will obviously be something that has to explain that in some fashion.
Are we going to get the first? I mean, because we get Spider-Man. Well, they hinted it all in Spider-Man because that's the next film.
Maybe
will they say, "Oh, Spider-Man," because they don't know him. Obviously, maybe that's where. Oh, maybe that's where Bruce comes out to recruit Spider-Man.
Oh, that could be. Simple? That could be, and then, with Spider-Man still keeping a secret identity. Unfortunately,
would he join the Avengers after everything he went through, too? That's a question, right?
Yeah.
He has no special suit. He's got a wet suit.
He's just got his powers. He's like classic Spider-Man. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
Doing dude stuff. So. I don't know.
Beyond that, I mean, are we going to see like things like spoilers, things on TV like, oh, New Avengers or Old Avengers, who are you for, kind of thing, to kind of introduce these characters that we've seen before, and that's how they say they introduce new world. And if I look at these dates, will we get anything else that shows like, hey, we'll hear a little bit more about these characters? But beyond that, I mean, to have a clear picture of how the Avengers will be introduced and how they fight Doomsday, it's a lot of heavy lifting.
I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. So things will materialize, and things always seem to be in flux. But I'm putting my eggs in the basket of the new Spider-Man movie because I wanted to be fabulous. They've had a good track record, but then, like I said, I think I've solidified in my head the failure of the fourth film. There you go. There's a mnemonic device for you, because the MCU has not really kept things chugging into a great fourth film for the ones that they've done. So I don't know.
And the MCU used to do a lot of building, and it seems like they're doing the least amount of building, introduce two new Avengers teams.
because they overbuilt it too much. So we will see. But yeah, up next will be the Marvel Zombies, and yeah, it's a little weird that we haven't had a trailer, but that'll be spooky time, and we'll have that to talk about. And then, like I said, Wonder Man before the end of the year, which I'd love to see what they do with it. I love the character, so I think that'll be cool.
Maybe
But
some
yeah,
of it don't know.
yeah,
I think it's already been filmed, so it's hard to do that, right?
Yeah. Don't know what's going to happen. All right. Well, with that is the end of our program. Thank you as always for joining us, everyone. Todd, where do people find you out there?
You can follow me on the Blue Sky at Todd Oxtra at Secret Friends Unite. Also the same on Threads. Actually, it's T Oxtra, but Secret Friends Unite as well on the Threads, Instagram, and Facebook.
Excellent. And of course, patreon.com/Secret Friends Unite. Link up with us there. Try us out. I think you're going to be thrilled. But you can find me over on my big three socials, which would be Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads as at the C3 THECEETHREE. Best place to be around and to find us and have chats is on our Secret Friends Unite Discord. Free to join. Find us there. Having great fun chats about pop culture and all kinds of geeky topics. If you don't find us, ping one of us a note on one of those socials and we will send you an evite. We want to have you on board. But with that, until next time, friends, thank you for joining us. I tell you that sharing is caring, and to keep on trucking.
Be the hero, not the villain.
In a truck.
Nice beaver.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on Threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.